Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to DIY Art Blast. So I'm here with another acrylic painting. Again, I always like to say this: if you want to paint with me, go grab your canvas, paintbrush. You can also paint on a watercolor paper if you have watercolor paper. So let's start painting. So these are the material I'm gonna use. I have acrylic paints here. If you like to take a screenshot of these colors, you can, but basically I'm just using this yellow, brown, white. This is more like a pink. It looks like purple here, but it's pink. And this is darker green. And I have this red. It's more like orangey red. Alright, and I'm also gonna use a paper plate. I just take a little bit of paint out on a plate here. And I have this 8x10 size of canvas. You can paint on any size you like. Mine is just a plain 8x10 size of canvas. And I'm just gonna use these two brushes today. This is a flat brush. This is number 10 size. This is my favorite brush. As you can see, it's too old. This is a 0 size. Alright, so let's start painting. So the first thing I'm gonna do is apply a little bit of water on my canvas for this painting here. So I'm just gonna take a little water here and I'm just gonna apply it everywhere. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, don't forget to give a big thumbs up. Alright, so again, I'm just applying this water here. Okay, so you can see that I applied this water a little bit everywhere. Alright, so here's my plan. I'm gonna work on the sky first, and then I'm gonna add some flowers on the bottom. Okay, so my plan is to add a colorful sky and just plain simple white flowers on the bottom. Alright, so now I'm gonna use all of these colors here: white, yellow, pink, and red for the sky, and brown and green and white for the bottom of my canvas. Alright, so I'm gonna start working on the sky first. So I'm gonna start with the yellow. So I'm gonna take a little bit of white on one side of my brush and just a tiny little tiny little bit of yellow here on the other side. Alright, now this is your painting. You can add more sky if you like. You can add more flowers on the bottom if you like. But I'm gonna try to bring my sky almost maybe almost halfway to here. So I'm just gonna start adding this white and the yellow like this. I'm just applying very simple brush strokes for this painting here. You can definitely add a different type of texture here. You can add more movement on your sky. Alright, so I take a little bit of more water because I don't want to make it too yellowish. Okay, I'm mostly gonna cover everything on my sky with this yellow here, but as I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna make it lighter and lighter. Okay, I'm just gonna take more white and applying that on the yellow and on the background here. Now, do you see how lightly it's going lighter and lighter? Okay, now I paint my painting so quickly sometimes, but if you feel like I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and then just start again whenever you are done. But I like to go a little bit quicker for the background, especially because it will be so much easier to blend your colors when everything is still wet. So that's why I try to go a little bit quicker. Alright, I'm just going up and down like that and making all my brush strokes nice and smooth. I don't see any more brush strokes here, and this looks more even now. Okay, there you go. Alright, now I'm gonna start applying a little bit more white, just maybe a little bit of white just on the bottom of this area here. I'm just gonna bring my yellow a little bit more down, but I don't want to make it too dark yellow, so I'm gonna bring my sky just maybe a little bit more down. Okay, again I'm just gonna blend this all together. Alright, so now we can start applying some different colors here. So the next color I'm gonna use is this pink I have. So I'm not cleaning my brush here, we don't have to. And I'm just gonna take like tiny little bit of this pink. Now this pink is too dark that I'm using here, so I'm just gonna take like tiny little pink. Okay, now if you don't have this color, all you have to do is just mix a little bit of red and white. Now don't use the orangey red, use more like a pinkish red. Let me see if I have. Oh yes, I do. Okay, all right, so now I have these two colors here. I have this red, this looks more like an orangey red, and I also have this red. It's a big giant bottle here I do some paint parties. So now do you see the difference here? This is more like magenta red, and this is just a regular red. So yeah, use this type of a red. And again, if you don't have the same colors that I'm using, you don't have to make the same painting like I am. Like, you don't have to use same colors. Just make your own colors, use your own colors, and see what it makes. All right, so now before my painting dry here, I'm gonna go with the pink here. All right, so now I really want some movement on my sky, so I'm gonna start from top of my canvas and adding this type of brush strokes. Now while I was talking, it's all dry, so I'm gonna use some white here. All right, so okay, I really want this pink a little bit more darker here, so I'm gonna take a little bit more pink. Now you can also watch the whole video first before you do anything on your painting. You're gonna get more ideas. Okay, I'm just gonna clean my brush here quickly, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit more yellow and the white again, because everything is dry and I cannot do this part without this paint here. So again, you don't have to do this part. I'm just doing because my paints are dry, so that's why I always use that's why you always do the background quickly if possible. All right, so there you go, it's better now. Now I can just quickly add my pink again. So start over, start adding your pink like this. You can create the shape you like, go back on that area and just blend with the background color you have there. And I'm just gonna add more pink right here. Okay, I'm just gonna add more pink maybe down here too. Okay, if you feel like it's not blending, you're getting this type of a line here, just use a little bit of white and go back again on that area, and it's all gonna blend so nicely. Okay, so there you go. I'm just gonna go with the different color here now. Okay, I'm gonna add just maybe a little bit more pink right here. Okay, just play around. If you want to make your sky darker, lighter, I don't want to blend it too much. I really want to see that dark pink too on some areas. So I'm making more pink, dark pink on the top of my sky. Okay, now the next color I'm going to use is this red. And I'm not again cleaning my brush here. I'm just gonna take a little bit of red. I'm gonna do the same thing. Just gonna go ahead and add some movement on the sky again with the red. Now because we use yellow and white in the background, your paint might turn kind of a peach color, which is good. That's what I'm going for here. If it's not turning peach, and if you want to make it more peach, just add more white. Alright, I'm just gonna add more of this color also on the top here. Okay, as you can see, I'm just adding more and more layers here. I don't know if you can hear this sound, but it's my laundry here. Alright, just gonna apply a little bit more of this here. And I'm also gonna take just a tiny little water here. Okay, there you go. Just maybe a little bit paint right here too. Okay, it's nice and windy here. Alright, I'm gonna go back with just some little bit yellow here. So let me clean my brush. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of yellow here. And I'm gonna apply a little bit on top of my sky, a little bit here. And also maybe a little bit right here. Okay, again, it might turn a little bit orangey. I barely have like any paint on my brush. I'm just using water and spreading and applying this paint. Just blending these colors. Okay. Alright. Just gonna clean my brush one more time, and I'm gonna go with a little bit more white here. Again, you can just play around and use whatever color you like on your sky. Okay, I'm just applying a little bit more white here. Okay, and just a little bit more red. I think this is the first painting I did not use any blue for this for the sky. Okay, I think this is good. I don't want to apply too much of these colors here now. Okay, this is pretty. Alright, I'm just gonna clean my brush here now, and I'm gonna start working on the bottom here now. Okay, so at the bottom here, I'm gonna use some green. So I'm gonna just use this green color. I just add a drop of water everywhere on my paint so that it don't dry quickly. Alright, so now I take a little bit of green, and basically I'm just gonna apply everywhere on the bottom. Now just like this, just a plain green, nothing else I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm also using a drop of water that will help me to spread my paint quickly. Use the whole glob of paint. You can apply a paint however you are comfortable with, because right now all I'm doing is just covering everything with this color. Perfect. Alright, let me grab some more paint. Now I also want to bring this color a little bit on the sky area too, so maybe I'm gonna bring this color all the way to this area here. Okay, I'm gonna cover everything there. Okay, same thing on the other side. Maybe I want to bring this a little bit more higher than the other side. And I'm gonna add this type of lines. I don't want any straight line. Okay, perfect. Alright, this is still looking very straight, so I'm just gonna go back with a little bit more paint, and I'm just gonna make it look like this. Just lightly going on the edge of this line and making this line as curvy as I can make this. Okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back again. Everywhere on the bottom, I'm just gonna turn my canvas this way. And I'm just smoothing out all of this paint. The brush strokes, I'm sorry. Okay. Also using a little bit of water. When you feel like it's too dry, it's hard to smooth out, just take a drop of water on your brush. Okay. Alright, now I'm also gonna use one more color here, which is a little bit of brown. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of brown. I'm mostly gonna apply on the bottom here. Okay, and a little bit on the edges. Okay, now I don't need too much brown here, and I'm gonna go back, blend this all together again, and I'm just gonna apply like nice big X's like this and blend this all together. Now I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible here, so the more you move your brush, the more it's gonna blend better and quickly. Let me turn my canvas this way again. Alright. Okay, it's hard to hold my canvas, so I'm gonna turn it back again. So start with the less brown. You can always make it more darker later if you like. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna add a little bit more brown right here. Again, after you apply your paint, go back, add nice big X's here. That will gonna give you nice textures. Okay, I barely have anything, but I'm still keep moving my brush like this. Okay, I'm not even touching these edges. Okay, this is perfect. That's all I'm gonna do. Alright, I'm gonna clean my brush. Okay, Now one more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some, sorry, that was my laundry. I'm gonna add mountain, just a small little mountain here. So for that I'm gonna use my same brush, and I'm only gonna use white. Alright, so make sure you let your background dry completely. Mine is still a little bit wet here, but I'm still gonna go for it. So I'm just gonna, oopsie, okay. Alright, I'm just gonna grab some white. And if you want to watch me first for this part, you can. So basically I'm just adding a little big mountain right here. Alright, so maybe it shapes something like this. Okay, maybe a little shape like this. Because my background is still wet, I'm gonna grab some yellow and the orange, but it's okay, I'm just gonna keep adding this shape. After it's dry a little bit, I'm gonna go back, add one more layer there. Okay. So again, right now all I'm doing is adding the outline for this mountain. Alright, and then I'm just gonna fill everything inside in the middle here. And I'm also gonna touch this green area here, and you can just overlap this. Okay, I'm just blending this white and this green together, just like this. Okay. I also have some green on my brush now, so I'm also gonna add a little line also on this mountain. Okay, I'm not really going all the way to the edges here. Okay, as you can see, I'm just going lightly down here too. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a little bit more dark green, just a plain green, and I'm gonna apply a little bit more right here because I don't want to make it too light. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let this dry now. I'm just gonna clean my brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna make light green. I'm gonna let this dry completely, and I'm gonna start adding more details on the bottom here. Alright, so let's make some light green. I'm just gonna take a little bit of white, a little bit of green. I'm just gonna make it a little bit lighter than what I have here, so I can easily see what I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add some stems. So I have a big field here with some flowers for the flowers. Alright, so all I'm gonna do is add this type of lines just very randomly. I'm gonna add like a couple drops of water here. It will be easier for you if you also do it this way. Okay, and I'm gonna mix it all together. Alright, and again, yeah, same thing. I'm just gonna start from bottom and bring my paint up like this. Not really thinking too much. I'm just randomly adding this type of a line. I'm not going over this mountain area, just adding big lines on the bottom as I'm going up, I'm adding smaller lines. Now I don't want to add too many lines here, but I'm still gonna add some more on the bottom, less on the top. So again, starting from bottom and bringing my paint up. You can also cross your line if you like. Now remember, we're gonna add some flowers here, so you're not gonna see all of this line that we are adding. So I barely add anything right here. Alright, same thing I'm gonna do with some different green this time. So on this same green, I'm just gonna add a little drop of this yellow. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna add a little drop of water again. And I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm not gonna use a lot of this color, just maybe some different lines. Okay, all right, I'm just gonna clean my brush again. And this time I'm gonna use some dark green. So just this green, but I'm just gonna add a drop of water here because I want to thin down my paint a little bit. Okay, so same thing again down here. So I don't know if you can see this, but I can see this, and it's not gonna make a huge difference, but you still can see this darker green even on the darker area. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna go back on my mountain again, so let me clean my brush. Okay, and I'm gonna use my same brush for this. Make sure it's nice and clean. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab some white, and I'm just mostly gonna add on the tip of my mountain. I'm lightly touching my canvas because my mountain is still kind of a little wet, so bringing my paint down. Okay, I'm making tip of my mountain a little bit more darker, bright white. Okay, I'm also gonna make this area a little bit more bright. Okay. Now on the bottom right here, I'm just gonna add a little bit of white, but this way. This time I'm gonna use my brush sideways like this and adding my lines like this. Okay, I need to add more white. Okay, I'm also gonna use my brush this way a little bit. Now do it whatever works for you. I want to make this area a little bit more foggier. Okay, perfect. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna clean my brush now. Alright, and I'm also gonna use one more color here now. I'm gonna use blue. So let me grab my blue. This blue, you can just, it's light blue. Alright, so you just need tiny little blue here. Alright, so I'm just gonna take like tiny little blue just on the tip of my brush. Alright, and I'm also gonna apply that down here. So there are some places on my mountain have more shadows, so I'm mostly gonna add this blue on one side here. Okay, so it's gonna turn slightly a little bit darker because my background is still not dry. Okay, so I'm just adding shadow on the left side. Okay, and lightly brushing on that area again. And I'm just adding this type of a texture. Just I'm dabbing it on that area. Okay, I'm also gonna apply this blue on the bottom. Alright, so I'm gonna clean my brush again. I'm gonna go back with some white on some area. So same thing again, I'm just gonna apply white. Okay, I also want to apply a little bit more white right here. Okay, perfect. Going a little bit over the green also with some white. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna clean my brush now, and I'm gonna grab my small brush. Okay, and I'm gonna grab some green. Alright, and I'm gonna go over this bottom area again, on the edges I mean. So I'm just gonna start from here, following the shape that I added earlier and creating more shape like this. Okay, same thing on the other side. Perfect. Alright, now I'm gonna add just a little bit more drop of water here, and I'm gonna add some more grass, you can say. Alright, so all I'm doing is adding some lines like this, starting from bottom, bringing my paint up on the sky color area here. Now it's all facing all different side, it's not just facing one side. Also, I'm gonna go down. I don't make it too long, I'm just gonna make it nice and smaller. Okay, I'm gonna do this area first. You can also let this dry a little bit, it will be easier for you. Cross your lines. You can also cross the lines. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more water because sometimes it's hard to apply this thick paint. and I'm also gonna apply a little bit more down here too, because this area also looks a little empty. Just adding some small lines. Okay, perfect. All right, let me clean my brush. Now with this small brush, I'm gonna go back on the edges on this mountain again, because I want to make the edges a little bit more sharp with the more snow on it. Okay. Trying to add more shape to this mountain. Okay, perfect. Alright, so now I'm gonna clean my brush, and I'm gonna use my same brush, this same small brush, and add my big flowers. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the biggest flower I have right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is draw the center of my flower. So I'm gonna draw a nice big little oval shape here, so that looks something like this. You can start with the small first, you can make it bigger then if you like. I'm gonna make mine a little bit more bigger. Okay, I think I like that. Okay, so I made a little bit more bigger. Alright, now I'm gonna add a bunch of petals for this flower. It's a very simple flower. I know you guys love this type of flower. So all I'm gonna do is grab a little paint and this type of lines. So something like this. I'm gonna start from out and bring my paint in. Now I'm gonna press a little bit harder because I want my petal a little bit more bigger. So I'm gonna go twice. Okay, so something like this. I think this is good enough. Okay. And I'm not really counting here. I'm just gonna apply as many as I feel like I have. Maybe I'm just gonna follow the shape I have here. Some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them are smaller. Not really thinking too much here. Okay, I want to make this a little bit more bigger, so I'm gonna go all the way to these edges. You can also use a bigger brush if you want to. Now I know you cannot see the center of this flower, which you can always change after you add this petal. That was just a reference. Alright, perfect. That is looking perfect. I'm just gonna go back one more time on just some petals wherever I feel like I want to make it more brighter. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just gonna also use a little bit of pink. I'm not gonna use a lot of pink, just a tiny little pink. Okay, I just add a little bit of white there because I don't want to use too dark. My pink is too dark here, so okay, I'm just going on just some area. I don't know if you can see this. Let me make it a little bit more darker. Okay, so something like this on each petal. I'm just gonna go lightly. I'm gonna brush one time there. Just pick one side, left or right. Okay, all right, let me clean my brush. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing with other flowers. Now this was the only flower that was big. I'm gonna add other flowers as small as I can make here. So let me again grab a little bit white. Now the next flower is gonna be slightly a little bit bigger because it's closer. So my next flower is gonna be maybe right here, just a smaller oval shape. Same thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start adding this type of petals. I'm gonna add 2 on each side, and I'm just gonna keep building more petals. Now I'm not gonna add too many petals like I did here. I'm gonna add less petal for this, because remember this is a small one. And I'm not going even twice for this one. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna add maybe right here. It's gonna be slightly a little bit smaller than this one. Okay, so again, same thing. I'm gonna add 2 on each side, and then I'm gonna build and add more petals. And as you can see, I'm just going like one time for this petal. Alright, now I'm gonna go back with some pink before this white dry. So let me grab some white, some pink. Alright, so same thing again. I'm just gonna add a little touch of pink. Let me clean my brush, and I'm gonna again repeat the same thing, but this flowers I'm gonna add now is gonna be smaller than this even last one. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna add smaller flower right here. Oopsie. Okay, make sure you don't take too much water. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone for now. I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, one more time. I'm gonna grab some white, and this time I'm gonna do a little different way. So on the left side, all of my flowers are facing the right side, and all of my flowers on the right side facing left side. All right, so what I mean is I'm gonna add my flowers a little bit on an angle this way. So I'm gonna add a little oval shape for the center, and I'm gonna add some smaller petals like this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add more petals around. Okay, all right, so same thing, I'm gonna add more flowers here. Now this time I'm just gonna add like small little petal, I'm sorry, the center again, and some small petals. Now these flowers are very simple, anyone can paint this. Okay, before I add pink, I'm just gonna add a couple more flower on the top here. Now again, it's gonna be smaller than even these ones. All right, so maybe one right here. As I'm going and adding more flowers on the top, I'm adding less and less petals, because you don't have to add too many petals here. Now if it's hard for you to do the center, just add a little dot here just for the reference and add the petals then. Okay, again, I'm just gonna keep adding smaller and smaller here. Now you can barely see the shape here. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do again. Okay, perfect. All right, I don't add too many. And just some right here. Okay, I'm gonna add like one small one in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and add some pink now before this white to dry. Now this time I'm not gonna apply a lot of pink everywhere, like on each petal. It's okay if you miss some of the petals. Okay, same thing on the other side. All right, so I'm gonna start with the white first. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little oval shape for this one here. And again, I'm just gonna add more petals. let me continue with all these smaller flowers here now. You can also fast forward this video because I'm gonna take a little time for adding these flowers. Now these flowers are facing on the other side, so I'm gonna turn my canvas this way, it will be easier. Okay, let me continue with these other flowers here. I'm just gonna add like one more in the middle here. Okay, and now for the flowers that are all like too far, I'm just adding like 3 or 4 petals. And I'm also gonna add some smaller flowers, also on just some area on the bottom here, so maybe a smaller flower here. Okay, and just maybe a couple right here. Not too small. Okay, I'm just gonna go back with some pink again. Okay, perfect. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean my brush again. Alright, and I'm gonna add the center of these flowers now. I'm gonna use yellow color for that. Okay, I might grab some green from there, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna keep the shape here. So I'm just gonna turn my canvas this way a little bit. So I'm gonna add the center of the flower, maybe right here. I'm just gonna add a nice oval shape. There you go, something like this. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with all of these flowers, trying to keep it like it's facing on the other side. So instead of adding it on the center of the flower, you can add it a little bit on the left side. So something like this. So as you can see, it's not completely centered. Okay, so something like this. Okay, for some of the smaller flower, I'm just gonna add a little dot, you can see there. So for this one, just little dot. So cute. Okay, now on this side, I'm not adding a straight oval shape like this. I'm just gonna add it a little bit on the angle. Now I don't know how else to say this, but I'm just gonna again turn my canvas this way, just maybe a little bit. Okay, and add the center like this. So now you can see that this is facing this way, this is facing this way. Alright, so let me continue here. Now some of the flowers are facing up, like this one in the middle. For this one, I'm just gonna add it just like this. So you can see the difference now. Okay, again, some of them are facing on the other side, so I'm gonna add the shape that way. Okay, all right, so I missed this one. All right, I'm just gonna make this one a little bit more bigger. Tell me which flower are these? It's so nice. Little touch of, like, you know, pink there, white. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna also add a little bit of brown. So let me clean my brush. Now I'm gonna add my brown a little differently. So let me grab a little bit of brown, and I'm just gonna put it on the side of my plate like this here. And the whole time when I add this brown, all I'm gonna do is just, like, you know, dab 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 like this. Okay, so let me show you on the big flower here first. So something like this, I'm just gonna add dab on the edges, just on the bottom area. I'm not adding on the top. Now I know it's hard to do it on the smaller one, so what you can do is just add like couple dots on the bottom like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that with all of my flowers here. Now make sure if your flower facing this way, you add it under this area here. On the other side, do it on the opposite side. Now again, I know it's hard to do it on the smaller one. Just add maybe a couple dots on the bottom of the yellow. Alright, so there you go. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And do you see how turning my canvas? It's easier for me to even explain you this if I do it that way, and also it's easier for me to do it and paint that way. Alright, so now I'm gonna clean my brush. Alright, so now I'm gonna use a little lighter brown this time. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of white and just a tiny little brown. So I'm gonna use this light brown on the top area. So I'm not going everywhere again, just on the bigger flowers. So something like this, so you can see the difference right here. And I'm also gonna add some dots also inside of that yellow. Just some dots like that. Again, just doing this with the bigger flowers. Okay, perfect. That's all I'm gonna do. Alright, now I'm gonna clean my brush. I'm gonna also add a little touch of red. So let me clean. And I'm just gonna also add a little bit of red here. And I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of yellow. So a little bit yellow and a bunch of white. So it almost looks like orange. Okay, and same thing, I'm just gonna dab like this, not going everywhere again, just like on the top of this and the bottom. Not going everywhere again, just on the some bigger flowers. Okay, that's it. Alright, and let me clean my brush, and I'm gonna go with a little bit more brown just on these 2 or 3 flowers here. So I'm gonna just use a little bit of water. Okay, and mostly just gonna add this color on the edges one more time, just on the bottom. So wherever I feel like it's not as dark as I want, I'm just making it a little bit more darker. Okay, that's good. I'm just gonna clean my brush here, and I'm also gonna add some white. Alright, so just some white, not everywhere again, just on the top of this yellow area. Okay, perfect. That's all I'm gonna do here. I'm also gonna add some stars on the sky. I know you cannot really see the sky, but I'm still gonna add some stars. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of water here. Okay, and all I'm gonna do is just add some dots on the sky. So something like this. Just on the top of the sky. I'm not coming all the way down. There you go. Yeah, I'm all done. Now if you feel like you don't have enough grass on the bottom, you can add more grass. I think this is good enough for me, but this is all I'm gonna do. If you like to go back on your mountain, add more white on some area, you can do that. You can add more flowers if you feel like you want to add more flowers here. I'm just gonna add a little bit more white, maybe right here. Okay, I don't add too much white here. Alright, so yeah, I'm all done with this painting. I hope you guys all have fun painting this colorful painting with me. And if you want to share your painting with me, please share it on my social media. I love to see your painting. And yeah, thank you again for painting with me. Make sure you sign your painting. This is something, you don't do this every day, and you made this, so make sure you sign your painting. And yeah, I will see you next time whenever we paint a game together, and or maybe DIY. Hopefully weather goes better now. It's January still, but I wish I can do some DIY. I wasn't able to do much DIY this summer, but I am hoping to do some DIY outdoors. So I will see you again next time whenever we paint again or do any DIYs project. So make sure you clean all of your brushes with some dish soap water so you can use these brushes again. Alright, so again, thank you for painting. I will see you next time. Bye.